Hi, I'm Paul Seal from codeshare.co.uk. This video, I just wanted to show you this new package I created called Our.Umbraco.DynamicImages. You can find it in the Umbraco Package repository. It's for Umbraco V8. I've tested it on a few different versions, so like 8.13, 8.14, and it works on those. I think it should work on all of the versions of 8, but let me know if it doesn't. And I've not tried it on 8.15 yet. Anyway, what it does is it creates dynamic images. So if we go to the GitHub, you can see like this is a background image, and then I'm creating a dynamic image where I'm passing in the text for the title of it, the image of the author's name, the issue number, and the date. So it can be whatever you want it to be, really. This is an example as if I was doing it for Scrift. And so what I was inspired by was I noticed recently on Twitter and Facebook and other socials, when you share a GitHub repository or a pull request or anything like that, it's got this like dynamic image that's been created, and it's got the name of the author or the repository and the picture of the author. And I thought, well, that'd be really good for CodeShare, because it doesn't make sense to have these like Unsplash images as the header. It's better if it's got some details about what the post is. So I created it so that it can do this for me. So I've got my CodeShare logo up here, the title of the post, the date it was published, and my name, well, the name of the author, because I've got 14 authors on the site, and then the image of the author. So that's what I've done, and let me show you it in action as well. So if we go to this post here, this one's written by Marcin from Umbraco, who works for Cogworks. He wrote this blog post for me a while ago, and what I can do is I've got the ID of the post. I've created myself a controller. So I've created the package as a NuGet package. I've installed the NuGet package on my site just by doing install package like this, package Our.Umbraco.DynamicImages, and the latest version is 1.02. Anyway, so if I hit enter on that, it would do it, but it's already installed on here. Then what I've got here is a controller, which I've set it up basically because I want to return the file. Let me show you it in action. So if I go to this, I've got my controller URL. Let me just show you it. So the way you can hit surface controller routes is like this. So you do the URL of the site and then /umbraco/surface, and then the first part of this controller name, so dynamic image surface. So that matches up with this dynamic image surface, and then miss off the word controller. Then the method I'm calling is get file content, and then post ID equals this. So if I hit this and press enter, what we'll find is it's generated a dynamic image for this post. Now that's good. It's actually saved it as a file for me just by using some of the methods. So I've told it to read in the content from the post ID, get the title from it, and get the article date. And then I've set up an author name and an author image URL. And then basically, if I can pull the author from this content item, then I'll get the name and their image URL. And then when I've got all that, I've got this method here, get default dynamic image settings. But basically what that does is that will set you up to look like this. So it'll have your text starting from this position, your author image this size and in this place, and things like that. But you don't have to use that method. You can create it however you want. You could do a new dynamic image settings, and then from your dynamic image settings, you will add your image layers. The main things are to add to the image layers or the text layers, basically, and tell it the background image URL. So you give it a background image. So if we have a look at, I created an image using Affinity. You could use Photoshop or anything, and I can see the position, like the X and the Y position of this this profile picture. So I know that the X position and the Y position for this is 850 and 190. So then in my default settings, if we F12 into that, Control F12. Oh, I don't have resharper, but basically it knows that when you pass in the author image URL, it will automatically, because of the default images, it knows to put it in that position. But like I say, you can create your image layers and put them in whatever position you want. If we go to the GitHub repo for it, what we can see is that I'm creating some here. So I've got details, font size, details, Y position, and you just get to add these layers, and you call it to get the text layer, and you tell it where you want it and things like that, and what size. So it gives you the power to do that. It's using the power of image processor made by James Jackson South. So it's just basically a wrapper around that, just organizing it in a way that helps you create these images. Now it's all right being able to create it as a file like that, but what I wanted to do as well was when I save, I want to be able to save the image and actually create the image. So if I do a save and publish on here, what we'll find at the moment, it doesn't have an image, a social image, but I've created a property on my document type called social image, and I've got an event handler that hooks into the saving of my post, and then what it's going to do is it's actually going to go off, get the data that I want from the post, so the title, the author, all of that. If I refresh this now, we should see that it's created the image for us. It's just running a bit slow on my personal machine at the moment, but yeah, it's gone off and it's created this automatically, and it's saved it as a media item, as a normal Umbraco media item, and now I have this image that I can then use on my website. So if I shared that post now, when I share it on my website, it will look like this one does. So it automatically pulls it through. So yeah, there's examples on here, like this is the script example that I did. There's examples on here on how you can do it. You might not want to hook into the saving event, you might want to hook into the publishing event. You also might want to make it more of a asynchronous task rather than how I've done it here, being synchronous, so that it can fire and forget and do it in the background. But yeah, I've just got it so it goes off, it creates it and it saves it, etc. So yeah, all the code's in there in the repository for you to have a look. I set myself some app settings, so I've got like background image, URL, font family name, and do I want it to auto create the image, or do I want to manually choose when to do it, and what parent folder ID it is. So what it's actually doing is it's creating these images in this folder here. So it's got a load of them that it's created during testing and saving and publishing when I've done it locally. So yeah, you can see how it's working there. Yeah, have a play with it, try it out and see if it's any benefit to you on your site. I just thought I'd do a quick video just to show people what it is and how it works. Yeah, hope you like it. If you do, please click like on the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you do like the package and you want to thank me, you could buy me a coffee, but only if you want to. No one's obliged to. It's only up to you if you feel that you want to do that. But yeah, as I say, there's no obligation to do so. It's a free package, MIT license. And if you do use it, it'd be really good if you tweet me at CodeSharePaul with your example of where it's in use. It'd be really interesting to see, because at the moment I only know of myself that's done it, and I think Scrift are going to use it for their online Umbraco magazine as well. But that's it really. Our.Umbraco dynamic images. Go and try it out and let me know what you think. All right, thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.